back to my channel. So I'm going to talk about our itinerary to Barbados and give you some tips. So we actually depart from Toronto. It's a 5 hours flight to Barbados, direct flight on Air Canada. And we booked the Fairmont Hotel, the Royal Pavilion Hotel. And with the room package that we book, actually it includes the arrival service, like airport arrival VIP service. So when I check on Viata, that alone costs about $75 per person. So I think it's awesome. So I booked the room package. And with that, I booked their private luxury car transfer, which is $150. So to me is, if I want the VIP service, 2-person, $150. So I'm getting the luxury car ride as well. So from the airport to the hotel. And I will tell you, whether that's a reasonable price, whether you can get it cheaper or whatever later, okay? So I'm focusing on the arrival service first. It's awesome that a lady with the plaque saying Fairmont Hotels waiting for you right when you walk down to the arrival area, and then she lead us all the way. That's actually a special queue on one side with arrival service, and then the rest will be on the other side. And it's pretty automated. Even for VIP service, have to scan the passport, have to answer everything online. But of course, with someone, they are going to press very fast for you, and you go very fast. And then if you're on your own, you look at the machine, you have to read everything, and then you may go a little bit slower. But that doesn't make a huge difference. But I cannot conclude that, because for the time of arrival, it makes a difference. If there's a lot of people in the arrival hall, then you definitely want the VIP service. But for us, it's only our flight and maybe one more flight. So it's not that busy. So it will be up to you whether you want that service or not. But of course, if it's included like us with the room package, it will be a good experience to try that. Okay, so if you want to see that, you can look at my other video on Fairmont Royal Pavilion Hotel room tour. So I include in that part, but I just want to talk about it here. And then, of course, nobody can live without internet or Wi-Fi or data right now when you're traveling. But the phone plan that we're in, even we got global coverage on some of the eSIMs and whatever, Barbados is not included. So we check online, you have to go to Digicel. So after you clear the custom and everything, we went to Digicel to get some SIM card. So actually, it's not even a phone booth. It's like 2 tables top outside the arrival hall, and then it's just 2-person who work for you. But they are very efficient. So the plan that we got is 7 days for $30 for 8 gig. So that is pretty good for our stay here, because you do need the data. Because if you are like us, you're not traveling, you're not driving or renting a car, you need the car app and everything. So you do need that. So $30 for 7 days for 8 gig from Digicel. So that was pretty good. Okay, then when I talk about transportation, Uber is not working in Barbados, so you have to download an app called Pick Up Barbados. So you can search in the App Store, Pick Up Caribbean, Pick Up Barbados. So I actually download that before I depart to Barbados, but they do not allow me to do a lot because they say the service is not available in your area. So I think they use IP or GPS to track where you are. So when I arrived, I have to set up the credit card, so I can attach the credit card to the Pick Up Barbados app, because I do not want to use too much cash. So that's the app that you need, okay? Pick Up Barbados if you're not driving. And for me, we are not driving because in North America, where the driver is on the left side, but in Barbados, the driver is on the right side. And then the roads are pretty small, and then the coastline and everything. So we're there for only 3 full days, 5 days, 4 nights, but we arrive at about 5 p.m. and we leave about 3 p.m. So we have 3 full days, so we decided not to hire the car and then use the car app, to call for taxi. I have to be honest, the transportation cost is a little high, depending on how you compare. If you compare that to New York, you know, it's not too bad. But for most places, uh, if I use the app to go to one place, you can expect 20, 30 US dollar per trip. Uh, so, that's what you can kind of have a sense of how much it will cost. And about currency, talking about money, they do have the Barbados dollar, which is $1 to about 50 cents Barbados dollar. But US dollar is widely used, so we only use US dollar in credit card. By the way, credit card may not be as widely used in some way. For example, if you get a taxi driver from the app, and then of course they're very nice and say, oh, how long are you going to be there for dinner? I'm going to drop you back up. And then if you go and then using the app, using credit card, when you go back and want to use the same driver, they normally only take cash, okay? So that's one thing. But for us, the entire trip, we do not use any Barbados dollar. Everything we use is US dollar. Of course, we have small changes. We have $5, $10 for tips, for things like that. So actually, again, you can prepare some Barbados dollar if you want to, but US dollar is widely used in Barbados. So let me move quickly to our itinerary planning. So when you Google, that's how I normally do the very initial itinerary planning, is to look at Google, the AI, and ask them what's the most popular or attractive tourist spots for this destination. And then you fine tune depending on your interests, your hobbies and everything, and then you ask specific question, and then they are going to give you specific result. So the number one, because we have never been to Barbados, so it's our first visit, is Harrison's Cave. When we look at the photos, we're like, okay, that is interesting. If it's number one tourist spot, then we better go. So we actually go to Harrison's Cave. It's not very, very impressive, but it's still a very good attraction, and you need to go because it's the number one tourist spot. And they have the Mount Gay rum tasting facility center there. So I will give you a tip. If I go back the second time, if I want rum tasting, I would not do the rum tasting there. And don't get me wrong, our guide is fabulous. The person who's doing the rum tasting is awesome. Very entertaining, very informative. So nothing wrong with that. But, to me is, I expect to go to a distillery. I expect to be on site a little bit more for like tasting experience. So that's the only reason. And then later when I check, there is the St. Nicholas Abbey, who they have an antique train, but they do have a more Atlantic rum tasting experience at St. Nicholas Abbey. So if I plan again, I will go to two places and not to have Harrison Cave and then having the rum tasting there, but instead I will go to St. Nicholas Abbey, to take a look at the train and then to take the rum tasting there. Okay, so that's itinerary. But that's our first day, and the second food day, we decided to go to Animal Flower Cave. Okay, of course everyone knows Rihanna. Go there to take photos of Sue, and then she's from Barbados, so we have to go there, and it's a fun experience. Then we walk down the cave, and this one we're not in a tram or a train. We actually can walk, and then a very interesting experience. So, and after that we go to the cafe, the Animal Flower Cafe, for a nice lunch. And when I look at some Instagram photos, they have great sunset views, but it doesn't match with our time. So that's why we went there for lunch, which is awesome as well. Okay, so after Animal Flower Cave, we actually went to Bridgetown. And I did not plan it very well because Fairmont is on the west coast, Animal Flower Cafe or Cave is on the north side, and Bridgetown, of course, is more on the south side. And it's quite a far drive, it's like an hour. But my husband wanted to see the town, as he's a city boy. So we just go there to have a quick look. So not much to see, but at least we are there. So we're in the duty-free shop and walk on the street for a bit. You know, they have some street market, so which is fun. And in Barbados, I have to say, is very safe. So, you know, we feel very safe, people are friendly. So that's the reason why we can wander around without any issue. So we spent some time at the bridge town before going back to the hotel. And the last day, we want to explore the East Coast. The East Coast is more agriculture and is facing the Atlantic Ocean because the West Coast is more on the Caribbean side and the East Coast is more for the Atlantic Ocean. And for those who have followed me for some time know I love riding horses. So we pick a horse riding activity to explore the East Coast. So actually from the stable to do a little hiking through the bushes and everything, and then down to the beach and have a very good beach riding to see the East Coast. So that was awesome. So that's pretty much, you know, some people find it pretty packed, some people find it not enough attraction, but it's up to your itinerary to make it what you want to be. So this is our 3 days itinerary. And then, of course, you know, we are foodie. So we have picked the Clift as a night for tasting menu, and then the other night at the Times. So there are like two pretty much well-recognized restaurants in Barbados. And then, of course, for arrival night, we ate at the hotel, the Fairmont Royal Pavilion. And then the last night is we stayed at the Waves, which is an all-inclusive Marriott resort. And then, of course, we have dinner there. And again, if you're interested in the Fairmont video, you can check out the Fairmont Royal Pavilion. And if you want to know what the Marriott Autograph Collection, the Waves All-Inclusive Resort looks like, you can go to that video and take a look. And also, I have separate videos on the Clift, the restaurant, and the Capes restaurant. So if you want to dive in and really want to take a look before you go, before you book, you know, feel free. And thank you very much for watching my video. Keep watching and hope you have subscribed already. If not, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. See you next time. Okay, going to the cave.
As the seated above, it's responsible. Of our tour, 160 feet. original interest.
Also, they have another thing in common. They are available for. Ah, you smell banana? How about? Give it up, never pass it under your nose. Ah.
Thing you're looking at here, this is coral.
Coral. Yeah.
Barbados is the only coral island in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Out in here, 40 feet deep. So on a calm day, we get the most.
Okay, so that is the animal flowers.
Have a look.
Oh,
It's a movie.
yeah. Oh, very cool. for me to